Hi, I'm Dr. James Machino. Anti-inflammatory herbs shown to reduce risk of cancer. Very important subject. There are certain herbs that have amazing anti-inflammatory effects. They're all natural compounds, and they're very good for arthritic inflammation, tendinitis, bursitis, fasciitis, other inflammatory conditions that are common. But you've also seen research probably in newspaper articles that suggested that taking aspirins on a regular basis could reduce the risk of colon cancer, breast cancer, prostate cancer. And the truth is that aspirin can do that, but you have to take so many aspirins to do it that it actually produces other adverse side effects. But how would aspirin help to reduce your risk of cancer? Well, aspirin also blocks inflammatory chemicals, and some of these inflammatory chemicals cause the cells in your body to divide very, very quickly. So when you take aspirin, it actually slows down the rate at which cells divide. When cells are dividing too fast, they make more genetic mistakes that can lead to cancer. So if you block those chemicals from being produced, as aspirin does, the cells divide at a slower rate, and there's fewer genetic mutations that occur. There's much less of a risk that cancer will develop. So people who have to take a lot of aspirins have been shown to have less cancers in certain tissues. Important sites: breast, prostate, colon. But taking a lot of aspirins also leads to bleeding and ulcerations in the intestinal tract, liver damage and kidney damage. So it's not practical to tell all citizens in a society to take a lot of aspirins every day. It would be counterproductive in the end. But what you want to know is that some anti-inflammatory herbs can do the same thing as aspirin, but without the side effects. So because that's been realized recently, researchers have now tested one of those anti-inflammatory herbs, like curcumin from the spice turmeric, in patients that are already in a high-risk category for colon cancer. These are people that for genetic reasons make hundreds of polyps in the large intestine, and they have to have those polyps removed, otherwise eventually they will become cancerous lesions. So they showed that in people who are really in a high-risk category for these problems, giving them curcumin supplementation every single day over a certain number of months, when they went in to do the colonoscopy, that they had 60% fewer polyps, and the polyps were 60% smaller. So we have absolute, definite proof that curcumin can work the same way as aspirin without the side effects. So the totality of evidence suggests that it's a good idea to put certain herbs together into a mixture: curcumin, boswellia, white willow bark, and ginger, because each of them have not only anti-inflammatory effects, but they all have their own unique additional anti-cancer properties that are really important. So I'll give you some examples. Some of these agents can stop receptors on the cell surface from overfiring. A lot of people, for genetic reasons, make certain receptors that make them more prone to cancer. But if you silence the receptor, the cell division slows down. Some of these agents have been shown, if a cancer cell is developing, to get the cell to commit suicide. We call that apoptosis, or programmed cell death. So there's a number of ways that natural anti-inflammatory herbs are associated with a reduction in risk of cancer. And because the evidence is so strong, I'll tell you what I do every day. I take a combination supplement that contains curcumin, boswellia, white willow bark extract, and the right standardized grade and dose of ginger. So if you click on the link below, you can read my review article on this. It's called Curcumin and Other Anti-Inflammatory Herbs in Cancer Prevention and Adjunctive Management of Cancer. All the scientific references are there, so you know you're getting only sound scientific information from me on this subject. I think it's important for you to look at it because it may be something you want to do as well. Now remember that at machinohealth.com, you'll see my other research review papers, you'll see footage from my live seminars, other resources, downloads, videos I've created, all there to help you lead a long, healthy, functional life. All my research review papers and teaching materials are complete with all the scientific references, so you'll know you're only getting sound scientific information from me on any topic that you're looking for. So make sure that you use machinohealth.com as an ongoing, reliable resource for health and wellness information for both you and your family members. Thanks so much for watching.